The search warrant only said B-complex and vitamin B12. Yet they took everything in Dr. Wright's office against the Constitution. That is unconstitutional. The warrant must specifically state the exact area to be searched and the exact items to be seized. And they are forbidden by the Constitution to seize anything else or search anything else. Not only that, but the Constitution clearly states that citizens will be given just compensation for all property confiscated. It's right there in the Constitution. And you people don't think you're losing your constitutional rights. You're losing them every day on a daily basis. And you'd better wake up before they're all gone. Before you look down at your ankle and find a chain fastened to it. Before you are thrown out of the bed in the middle of the night and find yourself looking down the barrel of a .357 Magnum pointed right between your eyes. Because if it can happen to Dr. Wright, or Joe Smith, or Lillian Thompson, or any of the others, tens of thousands that it is happening to across this country who are innocent, law-abiding citizens, it can and will eventually happen to you. Can't happen in America, you say? I say you better wake up and smell the coffee, my friend. It took 15 hours for the FDA agents to pack up Dr. Wright's career, yes, right, I said career, and disappear into the night. They didn't arrest anyone, they didn't charge anyone with any crime. They took patient files, Rolodexes, computer equipment, accounts receivable, accounts payable, books, audio tapes, laboratory equipment, laboratory supplies, virtually everything that was not nailed to the building, including $50 worth of postage stamps, which I will bet my grandmother's panties has already been used to mail their personal mail. No charges have been filed against Dr. Wright, and none of his property has been returned. Even if the FDA trumps up some garbage, regulatory violations against Dr. Wright, no charges will be brought against his staff. However, these women were imprisoned inside the clinic, humiliated and terrorized by the FDA gang of hoodlums. They could not even go to the bathroom without some FDA agent or stormtrooper Kent County Police consent. Roger Lowell, the district director of the FDA on the West Coast, confirmed to me on the phone that once the FDA seizes property, they keep it. Even if no charges are filed, that is against the Constitution, it's against the law, it's against all the precepts that this nation is founded upon, it is against everything that every American believes in. It's wrong, just flat wrong. Most people are so afraid, though, so terrorized, so scared, that they never challenge it, never file suit, never go against the all-powerful FDA. Suits against the FDA for return of seized property are very rare because people are scared. When you seize an entire business, ladies and gentlemen, dear listeners, when you seize an entire business, the business disappears. The FDA is then off to investigate another suspicious business with its search and seizure methods. I have no doubt that the viciousness of this raid was ordered by FDA Commissioner David Kessler. It's typical of his get tough, send the message policies. Sorry, folks, but I just can't put an MD after the name of a man who is determined to destroy all forms of nutritional medicine and who sends armed troops to terrorize receptionists, nurses, and patients. I just can't do it. And who does he work for? Remember, that both Dan Quayle and George Bush have had heavy financial ties to Lilly Pharmaceutical Corporation. Remember that. Things are out of control and have been for some time now. The lawless, mean-spirited FDA and other agencies of the government has been running around seizing businesses at gunpoint for years. It is destroying the possibility for reasonable health care in this country. And it's not so that doctors can get rich, folks. It's because they want as many people to die by the year 2000 as they possibly can get to die, as a part of the Global 2000 population control plan that was submitted to President Carter and signed by President Carter during his administration. Please do something. Voice your opinion. Call your congressman. Call the FDA. Fax your outrage to the White House. Send it in the mail. Do all of these things. Remember, letters to politicians are weighed, not read, so be brief. But please do be counted. Perhaps with just a few questions. Such as, and you don't have to write this, but something like this. Dear President Bush, why were guns used to raid a doctor's office on suspicion of using B vitamin and Dr. Wright's property confiscated by the FDA? When is he going to get it back, including the postage stamps? Also, a Jonathan Wright Legal Defense Fund has been established. Please send donations to the Defense Fund in any amount, even $1. Now, you can surely afford $1. Okay? I don't get anything from this. I just believe that this is wrong and we have to do something about it or it's going to happen to us. You all know that's true. Jonathan Wright Legal Defense Fund. P.O. Box 368. Post Office Box 368. Tacoma, Washington. 98401. That's 98401 is the zip code. That's P.O. Box 368, Tacoma, Washington, 98401. Call the White House, fax the White House, send a letter to the White House, call the FDA, voice your outrage strongly. Call your congressmen and your senators and demand that this be halted immediately. This is our country. We need to take it back from those who have stolen it from us. What about the poor citizens whose medical records were seized and have never been returned? They can't even get their own medical records. And what is the FDA going to do with those medical records and the sensitive information contained within them? Oh, you didn't think of that, did you? Well, I suspect that it could be turned over to the IRS, the FBI. Who knows what they're going to do, but they have no right to have done it. It's unconstitutional. It is wrong. It's just flat wrong. Period. The FDA certainly never expected the kind of publicity this matter is generating. They would never have selected Dr. Wright if they knew of the media and public's response and this radio broadcast and all of the others. One must understand that this doctor, Dr. Wright, trained at Harvard Medical School and the University of Michigan, has been in practice in Washington since 1970 and has treated literally tens of thousands of patients, none of whom have ever complained or died or suffered the ill effects of any of his treatment. The nearest pharmacy to Dr. Wright's clinic at a different address with no financial connection to his clinic was also raided at the same time by the FDA, unbeknownst to anyone witnessing the Dr. Wright raid. Now get this. The pharmacy owner said that over $100,000 in equipment was removed by the FDA, including freezers, freeze dryers, encapsulation equipment, etc. He has been closed down by the FDA. He's been put out of business also. Why? Why? Because he filled prescriptions written by a licensed medical doctor named Dr. Wright. Every prescription he filled was legal, and he did nothing wrong. And he is understandably very bitter, and so am I. I'm outraged. This is Hitler tactics in the United States of America. This is what used to happen in the Soviet Union that Americans professed to hate so much. Then why are we allowing it? Why are we allowing it? They should call ABC, NBC, and CBS to carry this story on primetime, 60 Minutes, Inside Report, or anybody else that you can think of to send it to. Well, I hope this show has illuminated some of the things that are going on that you are not supposed to know that are going on, that the powers that be do not want you to know are going on. Remember, this program is to educate and inform. And my admonition is don't believe me, don't believe Chuck Harder, don't believe Tom Valentine, don't believe Larry King, Dan Rather, Ted Koppel, George Bush, Bill Carter, or even your own mother. Because the deception in the world today is so deep in order to bring about a one-world totalitarian socialist state that you cannot afford to believe anyone. Check it out. Prove me wrong. If you can prove me wrong, call me and tell me, because I want to know about it. I want to correct it if I'm wrong. In the meantime, folks, join CAGI, the Citizens Agency for Joint Intelligence. It's our intelligence network. It is, in fact, the largest civilian intelligence network in the world and the most successful so far. To join CAGI, send $45 to William Cooper, P.O. Box 3299, Camp Verde, Arizona, 86322. That's P.O. Box 3299, Camp Verde, Arizona, 86322. Or you can just write and ask what it's all about. We'll send you information, complete explanation, all the benefits, everything. Or you can just call Stan at 602-567-6109. That's Stan at 602-567-6109. Stan will talk to you. He'd be happy to send you a list of available materials and send you some information that explains what CAGI is all about. While you're at it, send for my book, Behold a Pale Horse. $24 includes postage and handling. Remember, $45 for CAGI membership, $24 includes postage and handling for my book, Behold a Pale Horse, the only book in the entire world that's guaranteed. If you get it, you don't think it's what you wanted, send it back in new condition, and we will refund your money, no questions asked. Until next Sunday, and don't miss next Sunday, good night, and God bless each and every one of you. Oh, I just couldn't help it, folks. Now it's time to talk about my favorite subject. You know, this show is brought to you by the Citizens Agency for Joint Intelligence. My own intelligence organization. In fact, it's the largest and most prestigious civilian intelligence organization in the world. Nobody has one larger, and nobody does it better. Most of the information that you hear on the show and read in our newsletter and see on my videotapes and hear in my lectures comes from my research, combined with the input of our intelligence operatives in this country and all over the world. It's known as the Citizens Agency for Joint Intelligence, CAGI. And you too could be a member. Send $45, that's your membership fee, $45, to William Cooper, Post Office Box 3299, Camp Verde, Arizona, 86322. That's Post Office Box 3299, Camp Verde, Arizona, 86322. Or you can just write to us and ask us for more information and what's it all about, what do you get for your $45. Or you can call Stan and talk to him on the phone anytime during normal waking hours at 602-567-6109. That's 602-567-6109.